Yes, Mike, I did do my Wordle today.
Skyler, do you know what Wordle is?
I do not, but it sounds like Blake Bortles, so it sounds enjoyable.
Yes, it is. What? Did you ever watch the game show Lingo back in the day?
No.
So it's basically you have a 5-letter word. You don't know what it is. You have to guess what that word is. Every time
Table.
you guess. Yeah, okay, so you say you type in table.
Yes.
And then it'll pop up and say which letters are actually in the word that you're trying to guess, which letters aren't, and which letters are, but are they in the right spot or not?
It's the dumbest thing in the world.
It's not dumb. It's just because you're dumb, Mike.
It reminds me.
I'm dumb, but
it reminds me of like the Price is Right game.
It is.
Like
it was a game show.
Yeah, it's
game.
like not the words, but it's like with numbers. Like then it shows you what numbers are available still and such.
Yeah. Like, is this thing $37 or is it $73? It's like, oh crap, I don't know. And then they flip, and it's like, no, it's really fun.
I literally have been seeing it more and more on Twitter, and it's like, okay, I don't get it. It's not linked to anything.
It's an epidemic.
What the fuck is this? That's why I tweeted it the other day.
I got it in two the other day. I'm a baller.
See, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It is a good thing.
Why can't you get on the first try?
Ooh, roasted.
It's really hard. You know how many 5-letter words there are in the word?
Sucks. Get better.
Mike, you couldn't even do one if you tried.
Probably not. Because as you said, I'm dumb.
Yes. See, at least we all come to agreement on that. Welcome back to another episode of Dimes on Duval. The whole crew is in the house. Skyler Chase, Mike Yashi, and I am, of course, Keith Manzi. Good to have you all back together.
Hey, I just want to mention something with your name. Or, well, I kind of spoiled it now, but, I was just thinking earlier today, what person is getting lost the most?
What person is getting lost the most?
Yeah. Like parents always lose their kids.
Riddle?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, parents always lose their kids, but they're always losing their Keiths.
Kevin. Oh, my God.
And that's our show. Thanks for listening to another
Why isn't it called a
Dimes on Duval?
It should
January
be called
12th,
a Keith.
2022.
It should be called a Keith alert instead of an Amber alert because everyone is always losing their
I was
Keiths.
thinking Kevin because of the Home Alone movies, but I was not thinking Keats.
Well, Kevin, didn't get lost. He just got left behind.
I get called Kevin a lot.
Yeah,
Does that count?
I get called Tyler a lot.
But
I don't correct him.
Skyler, Tyler. Okay, yeah. Kevin, you get called. Do you ever get called Michael? And you're like,
oh yes, 1,000%.
I'm Mike.
Yep.
What about
1000%.
Trike?
Oh, remember that? I'm Mike. One of our best episodes of all time.
His intro.
I don't know.
The episode that you weren't here was back when we did we had the YouTube channel.
You popped in on the couch.
I popped it on the couch.
I had Daisha literally sit there and meticulously cut you out because we weren't smart enough to use like a background dissolver or whatever.
Yeah, I was at my parents' house.
She cut you out. I made you take a picture of yourself. We put you on the couch and just dubbed over I'm Mike, like you were there with us for like
I don't know why we even did that. Looking
because
back,
it was funny.
It was hilarious. I mean, it was
we're laughing about it now.
Of our YouTube career, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't know about.
I mean,
that.
I caught a turtle on YouTube.
But I mean, for Dimes on Duval.
I was gonna say the best part was
probably.
I don't know if we did Scott's interview on YouTube.
I think we tried to. It just didn't.
But the party, that
intro,
4th of July weekend was
that intro was dope. That's probably one of my best works.
Yeah.
Well, the Pocky Stick episode when we tried the Pocky Sticks.
And then,
that was
the
fun.
thumbnail was terrible. By the way, thank you for that thumbnail.
Oh, yeah.
If you look on YouTube, if you want to really go back, just YouTube Dimes on Duval and just look for the Pocky Stick episode. The thumbnail that Keith selected for me
that was all
just
me.
Looks terrible. I'm like, nice. And I got roasted for by some people. It's like,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I apologize for that.
Would it be under Trust the Process?
I think I changed it to Dimes on Duval, but you can find it either way. I don't know. We need to get back on there and get some videos back out there.
I'm still subscribed to the channel, even though we haven't posted anything on there.
Me too. We got to go out to Coastal and get some videos, man.
Yeah,
it's Dimes on Duval on YouTube.
Yay! I changed that. Good. Oh my goodness. So yeah, let's get into the show, shall we?
What a great weekend of football.
Yeah.
You can say that again.
Mike, your Jaguars experience was a little more unique than anything that we've done ever. I don't think Skyler and I have that experience ever.
We've been on the field, but no, not in the booth.
I've been in a booth, but it wasn't the same. I mean, college and professional are definitely two different ball games, literally.
I've been in a suite.
I've been in a suite too.
Get to drink.
But nice. Mike, tell us about your experience.
Yes, so I posted on Instagram and Twitter. If you guys follow me, I already posted pictures of
Throw the at.
myself with Greg Gumbel and Adam Archuleta, the two people that were commentating the game. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, that was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. Like, seeing the behind the scenes of a TV broadcast is completely different than anything I've ever expected in my life. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of random... There's like, I want to say 7-8 people in the booth working the game. Like, where we're at, obviously the two commentators and other people, whether it's camera, voice, stats guy, audio issue with the actual mics, my role, which is the first down line spotter. And
which is incredible. I never knew that existed.
Neither did I until I got the opportunity. And what I did was I just literally was watching the game. I had a headset on, and I just pressed a button to talk to New York, like actually CBS Sports in New York, where they update the line down and distance and the yard line on the TV broadcast.
So what I was watching here on my couch was thanks to you?
The yellow lines and the blue line and down and distance, I had a key part in that. I don't know if I was the main part, but I had a key part.
Hey, nice.
So that was pretty cool. Also, I'm assuming it had something to do with the actual like stat tracking, because it's like 2nd and 9 on whatever. They have to update the stats.
Sure.
So
just say that stat book.
I wish I didn't have a stat book. I didn't handle stats.
Print the stats online and just frame it.
Oh, I kept the press pass that I got from the game. I'm keeping that forever. I'm never getting rid of that.
No,
did you get to talk to Nate Burleson?
No, I didn't talk to Nate Burleson. I talked to Gumbel and Archuleta. Both nice, decent guys. Like, they're genuine. They helped me out some things. But definitely a lot of stuff behind the scenes that you're like, whoa. They rehearse everything that you think they would rehearse like 3 times before. They want to make sure everything's smooth.
Really?
Well, like they would probably rehearse that.
Everything's smooth and real easy when it comes to the broadcast.
It's funny because Gumbel's such a vet. You'd think that like he'd just be able to do it, but I guess he didn't. Well, I guess he still does go over everything. Which
they
is
still do warm-ups before games, like the football players. Just jump into the game without loosen up.
Well, sure.
Yeah, but they were rehearsing ad reads. They were rehearsing commercial breaks. They were rehearsing.
So what show's coming on Wednesday night on CBS?
It wasn't Wednesday night. They were talking about that same night or the next night. I don't remember them advertising anything else.
New young Sheldon.
But there was a lot of things, and then it's crazy how they do like the random stats that you guys see. That, for example, there was a stat they were going to put up on the TV if Lawrence continued his hot start. Lawrence had started like 14 to 14. The rookie record for Jaguars to a start to a game. I don't know if it was a rookie record or a quarterback record, but now it's been 5 days since I did it. But the stat was 15 to 15. That was the hottest start for a Jaguars quarterback. I can't remember if it was a rookie or not, but that was by Gardner Minshew. So I thought I remember that. Yeah, I think it was pretty interesting. They have random stats you can think of. Some guy texts, I guess, a group that works for CBS. They do all the research behind the scenes and they type it up, and then the guy writes it on the iPad, and then Gumbel says it on TV, and that's where the stat comes up on TV.
Yeah, so that's exactly what Eric and I did for Scott for several baseball games and other JU events. If you don't know, my brother is the voice of Jacksonville University athletic program, and we would travel with him to games, and we would just look through old stat books and stuff like that and just be like, yo, this is crazy. Blankety blank. If he hits for the cycle here, it'll be the first one since 2006. Stuff like that.
There were stats like that were insane.
It's like crazy how these people have these databases and stuff. I'm sure it was all on the computer for them.
One guy, the guy that was handling the stats, he was writing all the stats like on a stat sheet and then texting a group and talking over a mic. I'm like, that's a lot. If you're a stats guy, there's a lot more than you know or that goes behind the scenes.
I'm sure.
It's crazy. But I definitely learned a lot just seeing it, and I got connections with some people there, so who knows what will happen in the future.
Did you tell them about the podcast?
No, I did not.
Oh, my God.
They're not going to listen to a Jacksonville podcast.
Just in the background next time when Greg Gumbel's like, talking, he'd be like, "Dimes on Duval."
No, I don't have. I didn't
shake his hand and put a sticker in his hand or something like that.
I didn't have direct access to the actual TV broadcast. I heard the broadcast the entire time in my left ear on the headset.
Oh, cool.
So I could hear Adam Archuleta and Gumbel, even though they're right next to me. I could not hear them right next to me. I heard them through the broadcast.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool just talking to New York with the headset. They're old-fashioned a little bit, but it's pretty cool.
It reminds me of my little TV production experience, too. When the pandemic first started, Justin and his shoe company, Athlons, Justin James, World Long Driver, well, professional long driver now. The World Long Drive's dissolved. At that time, Athlons was setting up an event where it's called Four Drive or something like that. Basically, it was set up to where you could do long drive events with anyone of any caliber skill set because it had a point system to where if you land it here based on your accuracy and distance, you got this amount of points. Whereas if they're hitting it 400 yards but it's offline.
Oh, sounds like punt, pass, and kick.
I don't know because you're not repositioned anywhere. But
I know, but I mean, like, you know, if you went off to the left, you got docked points. It was like, dang, man.
Yeah, I
That
guess.
was a good punt. I was going for a coffin corner. Too bad it didn't count.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have that experience like you do. So, and this was like a brand new league. They were trying to get started. So it was interesting. We had like the first day we had 2 people come in with a bunch of equipment. The next episode we had about 3 or 4 people come in with some equipment. And this was all during the pandemic. So it was kind of like we are supposed to be hush about it and such.
Right.
Justin was competing here. I would relay the feed through Zoom, and we had Ryan Steenberg, I believe is his name. He's another long driver. He was out in California, and he was playing, and then it was being broadcasted by David Marr, who his father played in a Ryder Cup, I think like 86 or something like that.
That's pretty dope.
So yeah, it was like interesting setup. Like Mike, I just didn't know how much went into it, and like that David, the broadcaster, had so much information on hand, just spewing out.
There's so much stuff.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes. It's like, whoa, you learn a lot while doing it. And
You should see
awesome.
behind our scenes there. We got some nice stuff.
not
here.
as high tech as CBS, but it'll do.
Hey, you
over
know
here.
what? We'll get there.
That's the goal.
Well, maybe not that extreme, but we'll improve.
Well, we
keep
want to
improving.
broadcast some games for fun, but maybe we'll do like golf broadcasting on YouTube. That's a little easier.
Well, speaking of the game, how about that win?
Bro, what the hell? I was shitting on the team on last week, and they shut me up real quick.
I'm very upset we didn't do predictions because I was going to predict that the Jaguars were going to win and we were going to win handily.
I was going to predict
And no one's going to believe me now because, you know, we didn't do it.
I was
but-
going to predict a 30-point ass kicking in favor of the Colts.
You know, I never predict against the Jaguars, so.
Oh, you have.
I mean,
and
I
yet
have.
The Jags won those games, ironically.
Yeah, you
not all the games, but like I was being strategic in that Buffalo game. So it worked, but yeah, I mean this game, Colts, they for some reason they don't know how to play in Jacksonville. Maybe it's the fans get them scared. Maybe they're racist. I don't know. You know,
Could be.
Maybe they're afraid of clowns.
Well, I mean that explained the past 6 years, but I guess it's been a circus this whole time.
Touche.
So
Yeah, it's been pretty bad here.
From your view, did you see a lot of rainbow colors?
I saw a few clown wigs and outfits, but not as many as I thought would have come up.
So I don't know if you had an access to a screen at all, but the CBS crew was making sure that they did not show a single clown on the television.
Yeah,
I
I
had
didn't see
access
much.
to a broadcast, but I don't know if it was the one that you used for the actual
Yeah, no, there
TV
was no
broadcast.
clowns on TV.
Did you get to see the trivia question live?
Okay, so when that came up, I did not see it occurring, but when I got out of the stadium and got dinner with some friends after, I saw that video. I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
A legend.
I was hoping that was gonna happen. I knew, like, you know, they'd always ask fan stuff. I was hoping.
I
somewhere
honestly,
along the
I've
lines
never,
happened.
in how many years we've gone to Jags games, I've never seen a fan say something that's so anti-organization.
That's bold city, boy.
Like that. Like that's bold. But
Yeah,
good
the guy,
job
the
by
guy
that
tweeted
woman.
out, I was like, "That's my wife. I'm so proud of her." I'm like, "I would be too, man. That's awesome."
Yeah, that hashtag fire Baalke.
I really wish
D
you would have seen
ball
it live.
fire.
Then I would have loved to have known your reaction and to see how you reacted to the crowd as well.
I mean, I can tell you right now, the CBS crew upstairs, like Gumbel and Archuleta and someone else, they were talking about the situation here in Jacksonville. So it's not
that is
ignored
interesting.
by the public.
So what is that like? When how are they discussing it, like behind the scenes,
So
like
I don't
when
want
it's
to
off
intervene.
air?
I don't want to like intervene because obviously I don't think they know that I was a fan. But they're just talking about how Khan definitely is willing to spend money. He just cannot get the right people in the building.
Yeah, he's a businessman, not a football man.
Do you think he's scared at this point? He just does chod. just doesn't want to make a move
He's
until like he
scared to
hears a
fail.
coach.
I think he's scared to fail.
Yeah.
I think he's completely just scared to fail.
Yeah, which brings in the next question. I mean, who do you think we're going to hire at this point? I mean, we've interviewed a couple more guys since last week.
And we have more coming this weekend.
We have more coming this weekend.
Well, we've talked about who we've liked and such often this year and last year.
Yeah.
And the year before and the year before. Oh, no.
It's a little different now. I mean, odds went up in Byron's favor. And then we also see Bill O'Brien mentioned a lot, which is really worrisome. And honestly, like, if we were going to choose between Alabama coaches, like, I'd rather go to Marone again. It wouldn't be the
baloney.
That's how bad like hiring Bill O'Brien would be in my situations. Like, I feel like Marone would be more approved and more accepted here.
We're
like,
not bringing back Marone.
I know. My point being is just that's like, how can you think of Bill O'Brien after we just went through this season with Urban Meyer alienating players and the whole team and the culture? It's like Bill O'Brien did that same thing with Houston.
Yeah. I mean, there was things where he apparently like told DeAndre Hopkins that like he has too many baby mamas or something like that. And it's like, you don't say that to like your best player.
He's got plenty of money. He doesn't need to worry about how many baby mamas he's got. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
So I hate that I'm about to say this, but I really do believe that Jaguars are going to hire Bill O'Brien. I think they're going to keep Baalke. All this is going to be an issue once it comes up in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I hope to God in 2 weeks I'm wrong, or whatever time frame it takes. I think if they bring in Leftwich, Baalke's gone. I think Leftwich wants his own guy.
Okay, so that was going to be mine. I was going to say we were going to go with Leftwich. Baalke's out the door.
So that's what your think's going to happen.
And I've seen Leftwich linked to Adrian Wilson, one of the
former Cardinal, and now he's in the scouting world right now.
So do you think?
Cardinals.
Yeah, do you think Leftwich waits till he gets hired first, or do you think Leftwich takes a job and then tries to recruit him?
No, I think Shad's gonna hire a coach first, and that coach will make a final decision on who he wants to work with.
Well, yeah. So we got pulled up here on Twitter between like a conversation with E. Dilla and Casey Ayers, and then at
Someone on Twitter.
Fun off season haver. Anyways, the idea is talking about, Casey mentions that Ishad talks about going to a coach model similar to like New England has the Bill Belichick system. Bill Belichick basically controls kind of personnel and such, and you don't hear about the GM, and that's kind of what the model Shad, I guess, is wanting to go for. He just chose wrong with Urban. Urban has no idea what's happening in the NFL, despite him studying it for multiple years.
Yeah.
No, that was a lie. But
no. That was sarcasm
that's like saying
in my
you're
tone.
proficient in an Excel when you get a job.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I know all
That's
Microsoft
like me
products.
saying I'm proficient in German, even though
You can say Gesundheit.
I only know Hefeweizen. That's the type of beer. That's about it.
So long,
Zeppelin.
farewell.
Okay,
Auf Wiedersehen,
exactly.
goodbye.
Adieu. Adieu.
That's French, isn't it?
And you.
Auf Wiedersehen. Auf
But
Wiedersehen.
that's the thing. Urban Meyer's a dumbass.
That's
And
just the rest of the song. I was going along with
Yeah,
it.
it's a good song.
I'm done talking about Urban Meyer. But yeah, I agree with the coach-centric idea. But I think if what I'm really hoping doesn't happen, if we hire Bill O'Brien, he's a good coach. But man, if he becomes any part of the front office, this team is screwed.
Well, let me ask you this.
We saw firsthand across on the other side of the division in Houston. He single-handedly helped ruin the Texans by trading DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of chips and David Johnson.
And then, well, let me ask you this too. Like, you tell you he's a good coach, and I'm not fully disagreeing, but at the same time, how much was his coaching carried by Deshaun Watson's play?
He took Brock Osweiler to the playoffs. That's
all I have to
say.
That's true.
Yeah, he went to the playoffs in 18, 19, 16. I think he was there for 15 too.
I'll say just type in Bill
But
O'Brien.
at the same time, they still had DeAndre Hopkins. So it's like you have a superstar.
Again, he didn't have a quarterback the entire time until he drafted Deshaun Watson.
We had Jalen Ramsey here. We can go to the playoffs anytime. He's a superstar. If you have a superstar on your team, it doesn't really matter who the coach is and who the quarterback is.
Caused the point right there. We didn't have a superstar on the team. We had Jalen Ramsey win the playoffs one time.
Yeah, and then we were started 3-1 the next season, and then he started having his back injury. So my point being is, regardless of the situation around, you can still make the playoffs if you have that superstar. And that's where Trevor Lawrence is supposed to step in now. At this point.
I don't. I think Bill O'Brien is a good coach. He's made the playoffs. He's won the division 4 times, and 2 of them lost in the wild card. 2 of them lost in the playoffs. I'm sorry, in the divisional round. So
lost to the Colts. We didn't lose to the Colts. Come on now.
Yeah, but he's also only had 1 losing season in his career, and that was the year they took Deshaun. And then Deshaun got hurt that year. Actually, that's the only reason why we won the division in 2017.
Yeah.
And then obviously his last year after he traded away DeAndre Hopkins, that's when he went 0-4 and then he got fired. So he's an overall good coach, but man, I'm just worried about if we do hire Bill O'Brien, we keep Trent Baalke. Within a year, Baalke could get fired. Bill O'Brien takes over as GM, and that's just chaos. But according to Bill O'Brien and according to Ian Rappaport, apparently that's not what Bill O'Brien wants to do. He wants to just coach the team, which if that's the case, I'm fine with it. But it's just a matter of the GM part is what worries me.
So who do you think, Skyler? Who do you think we hire?
Man.
And do we keep Baalke or not?
I think the retention on Baalke is similar to what Mike's saying. It's based on who we bring in. I think that's why Bill O'Brien's being fed into Schaad's ear, because that's pretty much Baalke's only chance of staying, probably. I think regardless, like anyone else, he's probably gone. And I think maybe partially why Schaad only kept him here is because Schaad doesn't maybe know how to ask the questions that a GM would particularly ask. Like,
sure.
Schaad's still going to be sitting in on the meeting. He's going to know the questions being asked. It's not like Trent's running these meetings all by himself and like sabotaging anything.
Oh, yeah.
So Schaad's still in there, and he probably can, maybe sense some favoritism towards different things. So that's just kind of what's interesting. I think it's just knowing how he's analyzing Trent Baalke during all this too. Like, how is he giving himself reports based on how Baalke's conducting these interviews? But I mean, I'd rather Byron versus Bill O'Brien. Ultimately, I would like Jim Caldwell the most, even though he hasn't been in the league a couple years.
So you're going with the Jaguars are going to hire Jim Caldwell? Is that you're thinking? You got to pick one if you're thinking.
Yeah, I got to write it down, man.
All right, the official hire. Let's see.
Who do you think? It's not who you want. Who you think the Jaguars will hire in a week or two or a day or whoever it is?
I think I'm gonna go with Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. That's out.
Even though I think they should have gone. I think they should go with an offensive coach, but I think Todd Bowles has pretty good experience as a head coach, and he's a great defensive coordinator. And
do they keep Baalke?
No, like I said, I think the only way he stays is if O'Brien is here.
So you think he gets fired?
Fireball.
Yeah.
I like it. That was a out-of-pocket answer. I like that. I think he's seriously considered. I think we forgot about Doug Peterson there for a little bit. I think he could still be there.
I just don't like him, though.
I think the Vikings are
really
going to commit to him.
Why don't you like Doug Peterson?
It's the same reason I don't like Bill O'Brien. I just don't want someone who's going to ruin our players.
He didn't ruin anything in Philly.
He had a bad relationship with Wentz.
Okay, Wentz is garbage, as we saw.
He loves Foles.
But, I mean, he was obsessed with Foles. Foles wasn't very good.
To be fair, he helped Foles win the Super Bowl, and it's our fault we have a bad taste of Foles because we paid him all that money.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying Doug Peterson, he worked for Philly in that situation. Does he work down here? I don't think so, because I don't think he's the type of coach I want around our players.
I would love to have him because of his offensive mind. He helped Wentz look okay. Wentz had an MVP type season before he shattered his knee.
And that's why maybe they thought he would have a good season with Frank Reich, because Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator.
Frank Reich looks like a disaster after Sunday. Great, not a disaster, but that was a disastrous game.
Yeah, Irsay was happy to see it.
Yeah, it was.
But I agree with you. I think the best position to go with, like, for head coach is someone who's been a former quarterback and has an offensive mind. And Peterson's been a former quarterback.
So
in the
with
league.
that, you're going after Leftwich.
Well, that's why I like him over Bill O'Brien. I think he's like ultimately the best fit.
You said former player? Former player?
Yeah.
Leftwich?
Doug Peterson's a former player.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
You're trying to research something.
Yeah, sorry.
But that's why I think like a former player would be good. But I think that's why Todd Bowles is my out of left field pick, just because I think Leftwich is going to go where Wilson was going to go, where we talked about earlier. I think Bill O'Brien, I don't know if he's going to get another job
I don't
here.
think he's even getting interviewed by anybody else.
Yeah.
Nope.
So I think that's another thing Shad probably looks at is like, why are we interviewing this guy?
Yeah.
Like,
I
no one
think
wants
Kellen
him.
Moore and Nathaniel Hackett were interviewing for the experience.
Nathaniel
honestly.
Hackett, I would like maybe
I
the
think-
most
I think
of the
he just-
coordinators.
I
I've
think
cooled
he-
down on Hackett, and
I think
I'm
he
down.
really interviewed just for the experience to see what it was like, to see like
My
potential
top
future
three,
hires and stuff like
my
that.
top three in no order is who I want. What's his face out of Miami? Brian Flores,
Oh, yeah.
Byron, and Peterson. I'm not a fan of Moore anymore.
Flores
Well-
is a defensive coach.
Defensive coach.
But I've heard him linked with like Watson so much that I think it sounds like. I mean, it's based off of what 1010 was saying, so I don't.
Okay,
No, so
10-10
not
is a
credible.
garbage.
Yeah,
10-10
yeah,
is
so-
garbage. So
Yeah,
Not
no,
credible at all.
No,
So.
but he was Deshaun Watson had been linked to Miami the whole time, and it'll be interesting to see if like he's still linked with Flores wherever he ends up.
Yeah, 1010 has morons running the account
Yeah.
on Twitter and also running the company. So
Amen to that. Oh man. Well, hey, let's switch gears. Look at the schedule next year. Obviously, we don't know the dates, the times, yada yada, but we know the teams.
Are we going to any away games, Mike?
I plan on going to a
Mike
few.
is hyped for some. He was saying some before you got here. Go ahead, Mike.
So Jaguars currently are scheduled to play at Kansas City, at the Los Angeles Chargers, at the Philadelphia Eagles, at obviously the division rivals, at the Washington Football Team, at the Detroit Lions, and at the New York Jets. And in the home games, they've got Baltimore, the division rivals, obviously, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the
Cowboys and the Giants.
And the Giants.
Well, I don't know. I think we'll finally have the Cowboys here because the last time they were supposed to be here, they played in London,
Yeah.
and so I think maybe the Giants go to London.
I would
Kinda
rather
cool to see the
send. I
Cowboys.
would rather send the Broncos to London. That's just me.
I
personally.
think they might be going there too.
Broncos or Giants. I don't care about either of those teams. So, but I definitely plan on going. I want to go to like. I would honestly love to go to all these road games. They're actually a pretty good road schedule.
It'd be
I
nice.
really number one is SoFi Stadium for me.
Agreed.
Against the Chargers.
Why is that?
That stadium looks incredible.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking stadium.
I just don't. I think the cost would be crazy to go out there, but
absolutely. It's
yeah.
California.
I mean, it's California. Also, you're traveling for a road game. It's gonna be pricey, but man, that experience I feel like would be worth it.
I would love to go to Philly, get a Philly.
That's what
and
I
eat a
said
Philly.
too. Keith is against it.
Philly
He's like,
sucks, man.
You've been there?
I've been to Philadelphia, yeah.
Well, I mean, have you?
I haven't been
What
in the
other
stadium,
what other
no,
big
but-
cities have you been to?
What other big cities?
Yeah, just so I can know based off where I've been to Chicago
been
and
to
LA.
DC,
I've been to DC. Okay, so how's it compared to DC?
Well, I went to RFK, so I can't really compare it all. RFK was one of the worst stadiums like in the history
Well,
of existence.
I'm not talking state. I'm not even talking
Philly, the
stadiums. I'm
people
just
are
talking
assholes.
city.
People are assholes.
That's
the food
noted.
is good, and yeah, basically every big city.
I think that's what I'm
People are
looking for is
assholes
just the
and,
food. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, you got to go to Geno's or whatever and get a Philly cheesesteak.
and then
you just
try
gotta
one
make sure you
across the
order it
street.
right.
yeah. So I definitely want to go to a few of these. I definitely want to go to LA, Philly, Tennessee. I want to go to Nashville. I've always wanted to go to Nashville. I want to check that out. Definitely go to Detroit. And ironically, we could possibly play Detroit on Thanksgiving. That is a possibility.
That would be fun.
I didn't even think about
We
that.
have not played. We're the only
We've
team
never
that's not,
played on Thanksgiving.
Never.
Yeah.
We're the only team in the NFL has not played on Thanksgiving.
Set it up, NFL. Trevor Lawrence on
That
Thanksgiving.
would be insane if we could play on Thanksgiving.
Would
I'd
you
actually look
go
forward to
to it?
that.
Would you go to Thanksgiving?
That's something that be determined later on. I don't know. We'll see, but we'll figure it out. But we'll see if my parents will.
It's
You
not-
know what I'm excited for?
What's that?
A new season?
No, to see Lamar Jackson here in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Will it be Lamar?
Will it?
You don't think it will be?
No, it will be, but will he stay healthy? Because that man can't stay healthy right now.
Oh, okay. I was like, you
I
looked
mean,
at me.
the-
I was like, what,
he could be the
what do you
home
know that I
opener.
don't?
It could be the home opener, season opener.
Oh, here's a good guess. What do you think will be the home opener? I think the home opener will be.
It's usually always like a division opponent for some reason, but
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna just say Tennessee.
I don't think it's a playoff team.
I think it's gonna be Dallas.
I don't like.
No,
I said,
actually, Dallas the Eagles will probably be week 1
yeah.
tonight.
I don't think it'll be a playoff team. I think it'll be maybe Denver.
Home opener. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Jets the Ravens week 1. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Ravens week 1 or week 1, 2, whatever.
Okay.
The home
What do you think, Skyler?
Well, I mean, he took the Ravens from me.
You can take the Ravens. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Broncos
Okay.
home opener.
Okay.
Broncos.
We've opened up with the Broncos before.
Yeah, with Tebow.
What a great time!
Fucking gosh.
He led him to the playoffs that year, didn't he?
I don't care. He didn't do shit.
Yeah, and there was a reason.
With the glory
what's
of
his name
God
got
behind
fired.
him.
Oh man, Xavier came back and only lost by 1.
The ex-Savior?
Skyler, do you want to leave?
What are you, Scott? You're not going to kick me out. You didn't even go there. I could understand
I
from
don't
him.
care. I'm a diehard fan, man.
Die hard.
Yeah.
Xavier.
Adam Kunkel, man.
Xavier.
Stop. Anyway. Why don't we go ahead and get into the wrap up section?
Wait, did you
of
pick?
this? I did. Yeah, I said Tennessee.
Sorry.
You said not a playoff team, but I had already said it, so I was like, whatever.
I mean, that's division.
I think
that's
it's going to be a divisional team.
Speaking of Tennessee and playoffs, since this is the last episode before the playoffs start, do we just want to go over Super Bowl picks?
Packers Chiefs.
Okay, you say Packers Chiefs.
Old school.
Yeah, why not? Super Bowl 1 all over again.
You come back to me.
Oh, I gotta pull up the playoff bracket.
Okay.
But I do have a prediction in terms of the conference championships. I think it's gonna be the 49ers and the Packers in the NFC Championship. I think the 49ers get the job done this
Wow.
weekend against the Cowboys. And in the AFC, I think it's gonna be the the Chiefs and the Bengals. I think the Bengals are gonna go to the AFC Championship game, but they'll lose.
Joe Burrow on fire, baby.
Yeah, he's on fire right now. But to go to Super Bowl, I am also going to go with Packers Chiefs in the Super Bowl, whatever year.
Yeah, there's no way. I'm sorry. I'm going to say this right now. I love the Packers to death. There's no way we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm predicting it because I love them and I want them to, but
they're going to win.
they prove me wrong every year.
That's because Rodgers had bad luck. He's going to get it done this year.
I'm not sure how my bracket will shape out or how configure, but I think conference champions going to be Tampa versus winner of Arizona and LA for the NFC side.
Tampa would play actually. Well, it depends on how the Niners Cowboys go.
Yeah, see, like I said, I don't know how the bracket's shaking up. I think Tampa's going to be in the Super Bowl again, and I think they're going to be going up against. Oh, one more second.
I got a bracket right here.
Honestly, you could have clicked
There's a
images.
bracket
All
right
right.
here.
So you're saying.
Yeah, so I think Tampa.
So if you're
So-
saying Tampa wins, okay. What about Niners Dallas? Because this will determine it real quick.
Dallas.
Dallas Cardinals Rams.
I want to go Cardinals, but I think Rams. So
Okay,
it'd be
it's
It's an
Rams.
interesting game,
Because if
but
it's
I
the
think
Rams-
Kyler's not playing, I don't think.
No, he's gonna play. There's
I
no
thought
way.
they just said he wasn't.
There's
I
no
swear I
way
just
he
got an
misses a
ESPN
playoff
update.
game. So if the Cardinals win, Cardinals play the Packers in this next round.
Mhm.
If the Rams win,
So then it would be
It'd
like
be
Bucks and Cardinals
Bucks
anyways.
versus
Packers?
Packers. No,
Oh no, I guess they're the 2 seeds, so the Bucks would just play.
the
Anywho.
Are the Bucks a 2? Are the Bucks a 2?
The Bucks are too, so the Bucks would not be
the
able
Bucks
to
would
play.
not play until they'd play. Yeah, it'd
Oh.
be.
They would play the weaker seed.
Yeah, so if the Rams win, it'd be the Rams versus the Packers, and then the Bucks versus the Cowboys. If that's based on what you're saying.
Yeah, essentially. So I think, but anyways, I think Bucks represent the NFC again. From the AFC, gosh, it's really hard to go
Everyone's picking
against
Tennessee.
Fuck no, Derek Henry may not make it
Oh
back in time.
man, it's hard to pick against Kansas City again. So I'm gonna go back repeat of the Super Bowl last year.
So we're all on the Chiefs in
You
the
know
AFC.
how hot they were, or they are, the Chiefs. Holy mac!
So
It's
we're
crazy.
all on the
But-
Chiefs in the AFC.
They have to play a road game if they make it to Tennessee. Like if Tennessee advances, then it would be Mahomes' first road game in the playoffs.
You know, the game I'm most excited for is honestly that Patriots-Bills game. That's gonna be awesome.
Patriots are gonna smack them.
Yeah,
You think so?
Yeah, I think the Patriots are gonna smack them.
I think I feel strong about the Patriots too.
Huh? I go
think
Bills.
coaching
I go Bills.
I think Josh
Yeah.
Allen will struggle.
I think
Sunday
Bengals
or
win round
Saturday.
1 as well. I
Yeah, no, I don't see any chance. Of the
Would you
Raiders
guys
win
go
that game.
crazy if Ben made it to the Super Bowl?
I would be livid.
I would quit.
I don't want to
NFL.
see Big Ben anywhere near Super Bowl Sunday.
I hope the
Imagine
Chiefs beat
Big
them by,
Ben.
56.
It's Big Ben versus Tom Brady, Super Bowl
Oh,
56.
God. I mean, so they already played this year, and Kansas City had like no Kelsey. They had no like 3
They
other
won
guys,
by over
and
30.
they still macked them by like 30.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's a bad team. I don't know.
Which is why I was rooting for a tie this past Sunday. I
wanted
want to see
the
the
Chargers,
Chargers
man.
in. so
and they were
badly.
going to have a tie until their coach called a timeout.
There's other things behind that too, but
at the same time, though, he wouldn't have had time to stop the clock really after that third down.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, hey, fingers crossed. I want the Packers to win. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. We've played really well with a very patchy offensive line. I mean, David Bakhtiari didn't play till week 18,
and he's back now. So
yeah, and Patrick's been on the IL and IL.
I was saying, you talking baseball there?
he's been out for.
Can't say
most
disabled anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited for that. So, local update, and to wrap things up, your Jacksonville Icemen, they've only played once, and they played the Admirals, the game that I mentioned last week. They won, so they're still on their hot streak. Their next game is going to be January 14th against the Atlanta Gladiators. 7:30 p.m., so be on the lookout for that. But I totally forgot about this last week. They are hosting the All-Star Classic here in Jacksonville. So this is really cool because it's Sunday and Monday, January 17th and 18th? No, I think it's 16th. 16th and 17th. 16th and 17th. I'm sorry. The Fan Fest is on the 16th. The All-Star Game is on the 17th. So with the Fan Fest, there's a lot of events you can go to and stuff. Oh my goodness, this page has been terrible. They've got video game trucks. They've got all kinds of fun things going on. They have you can go ice skating if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah. They have rentals too, $5 a pair right outside the rink. You can go see the Stanley Cup.
And this is at Veterans?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because they're redoing the glue.
Actual Stanley Cup.
The actual Stanley, yeah. That's pretty cool. I heard that on the radio.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, I kind of want to go see Lord Stanley's Cup.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And see all those Tampa Bay Bolts on there.
And then the Blackhawks.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
But hey, we are a dynasty.
All right,
and we're a dynasty right now. So
we still got some of our players. They might. You never know about. I don't keep up enough.
We won the last two.
No one cares about either of those teams right now.
Anyway, there's going to be live music. There's a winter wonderland for kids. There's all kinds of fun things. So definitely head downtown to check that out. I do believe the actual All-Star Game itself is really cool because it's going to be on Monday, which, is okay. It's because it's 7 p.m. You're not going to miss anything if you're working that day. But
a lot of people should be off. It's Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Forgot about that.
That's probably why they made it on Monday.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, they're probably made on a Monday just for that reason.
So even better. So the ECHL All-Stars will be playing against the entire Iceman roster. I think that's a pretty cool format to do it. So you'll see the
repeat
best
that
of
one more time.
You're going to see the game that's actually played is the best of the ECHL against the Icemen. So the Icemen play all of the best of the entire league.
So that's how they set it up for this. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. It's unique.
So whoever host it, regardless, is going to have.
I believe that's how it goes. Yeah.
Interesting. That's cool.
I mean, that seems like it would be an L for the Icemen. But I mean, Icemen
you never know.
Good,
You never know.
Icemen are the best team right now. So.
Well, they just had their best player called up, unfortunately.
Hey, good for him.
So I mean, we struggled with this last week. And we discovered they're the Rangers affiliate.
Yes. I had to look it up after the show. I was told.
You guys were way off last week.
Well, yeah. I mean,
whatever.
You named two different teams, and yet you still got the teams wrong.
Well,
the Winnipeg Jets is the correct term, but you said the Columbus Jets.
The Jets were the former team. They were the original affiliate. When I worked for them, there was the Jets. And then, we just said the Blue Jackets. But
that's the funny thing. You said the Columbus Jets and the Winnipeg Blue Jackets. I'm like, geez,
whatever.
You guys screwed it up big time.
It's okay.
We're from Florida. It's hockey.
Talking hockey, whatever.
But that's interesting. That's cool that they're the Rangers. I mean, shoot. So he's going up to Madison Square Garden, right?
Well, he didn't get called up by the Rangers themselves. He was. It was another affiliate. It was. Not the Wolf Pack. It was another team. They can kind of just move ECHL guys around anywhere. He went to I think they're called the Checkers. I don't remember. Anyway, other local updates. The Jacksonville University Dolphins. Last time we talked, we said their next game was against Kennesaw State. That was postponed, but they beat Florida Gulf Coast. I am actually going to plug in Scott's call on that because it was awesome.
I saw it. I heard it the other day.
Yeah, so they won on a buzzer beater. 69-66, I believe, was the final
score. He's got the radio call?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw the broadcast, but
the actual broadcast was on ESPN.
ESPN 3. Was it ESPN or ESPN 3?
No, I mean like it was on SportsCenter.
Oh,
I
SportsCenter
gotcha.
top plays.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a sweet 3 too. I mean, it was,
Oh, yeah.
it was
really nice.
deep.
I saw it was a nice shot. Nice call by Scott.
Yeah, so
I'll have to hear
I'll
Scott's
plug
call,
that
yeah.
in right
We'll play it.
here.
7.6 seconds left, tied at 66. Davis gets it into Jordan Davis in the left corner. Davis behind the back dribble, loses it, almost falling out of bounds. They get it across to Nolan. Nolan with 1 to shoot at the buzzer for the win, and he pushes it! Kevion Nolan with the game winner from 25 feet at the top of the key. Wins it for Jacksonville, 69-66. What a moment for Kevion Nolan and the Dolphins to move to 1-0 in the A-Sun with a big game-winning shot.
Wow. That gives me chills every time I hear him make a call like that. That was amazing. Kudos to you, Scott, and of course JU for that win. Also have a win for Stetson. They beat Stetson 57-50. And they play, I don't know who they play next, but that's okay. I know who they play next. They play UNF. So going on to UNF, who is 0-3 in the conference. They caught L's against Florida Gulf Coast, Stetson, and Liberty. They got smacked by Liberty. And Mike, you got a schedule update too for UNF?
Yeah, UNF and Florida State were supposed to play a few weeks ago, I believe, and then they got postponed due to Florida State's COVID outbreak. I think it was Florida State. They just rescheduled that game for Thursday, January 20th, in the Leon Tucker Civic Center in Tallahassee.
Nice. So before that game, though, is the River City Rumble.
Is it at Swisher or is it
at UNF. So this is their home game on the 15th. It's at 5 p.m. I believe that's this Saturday? Yeah, it's coming up Saturday.
We just talked about All-Star Weekend on the 16th,
Yep.
17th.
Yep, thank you, because I don't remember that kind of stuff.
Keith's ready for bed.
Yeah, it's past my bedtime. But yeah, River City Rumble, if you've never been, is a marquee event here in Jacksonville. Always love to see JU and UNF square off. I'm hoping for a JU win just because, the brother. But
I think JU will win. They've been playing a lot better.
They've been playing very good. I mean, they beat both of those teams that beat UNF already.
I'm surprised. I thought UNF would have a better start to the conference schedule, but because, they played tough opponents, and they traveled to Kentucky. They traveled to UCLA.
They had a huge gap within games, too. I mean, they had a postponed game, 3 canceled games, and then they come out and lay an egg against – they were at Florida Gulf Coast, so, I can understand that, but – losing to Stetson by 2 at home and then going to Liberty and getting smacked. They might be hungry for a win, so they might come out guns a-blazing and sneak a victory from JU, who is top of the league right now. 10-4, 2-0 in the conference.
The East. I don't. It might.
They're
2-0.
I mean, that's the top.
They
actually are. They have the best record.
Yeah, Jacksonville State's second. Everyone hates Jacksonville State.
Which
actually, I don't. They
hilarious.
could be. Because there's a team, Liberty's 11-6, and then Florida Gulf Coast 11-5.
Well, it's winning percentage.
But 10-4 is better than 11-6.
I guess, but they played less games, so.
If they win one more,
whatever.
If they win one more, they'll be 11-4.
Screw math.
Yeah, but anyway, UNF is at the bottom of the barrel. They are one of 2 teams. Well, I guess 3 teams because Kennesaw State for some reason still hasn't played. I guess they must have a COVID outbreak. But Eastern Kentucky, who's just trash, does not have a win either. So, yeah, that's all I've got for that. Check out the Rumble if you haven't already. Some final notes before we go. We have to say congratulations to Georgia for winning the championship.
Yeah. Well deserved, even though they're not the best defense of all time. But they definitely earned it. They were the best team all year. Good shit, Bulldogs.
I was surprised. I was
about
happy
time.
for them.
I wasn't surprised. They were the better team.
They should have. If they,
I'm always surprised when Alabama loses. To be honest, in championship games, come on now.
Yeah.
Well, Georgia, they would have got this earlier if they never got rid of Justin Fields or mistreated him. I think he was better than Fromm. They would have won a championship earlier.
Fromm wasn't that great.
But that's in hindsight. He may have not worked out that offense. You never know. But
yeah, just hindsight. But yeah, it's been a long-awaited journey for Georgia, and I think that's as much as it hurts to see Georgia win as a Gator fan, I think seeing those kids so emotional is awesome. Don't get me wrong, the Alabama kids would have been happy, but most of those kids already won trophies last year, and
or
did they win last year? Yeah, with Mac Jones. So
yes, so definitely
Yeah, I don't feel bad that Alabama
Yeah.
lost. I mean,
They'll
to be
be
fair,
back
they
there next
lost
year.
their 2 top receivers. That sucks.
So I'm just glad Georgia fans finally have something to celebrate. They won. They earned it. Have fun defending it because it ain't fun next year.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting year for sure. But, Mike, you mentioned something before the show that you wanted to bring up. Talk about this event real quick.
Yeah, the Riverside Craft Beer Festival is coming to town again. I mean, not coming to town, but they are in town. February 27th. I actually missed it last year. I can't remember why I missed it. I want to check it out maybe this year.
We're probably just busy.
Yeah, probably. I definitely want to check it out this year. There's definitely, tickets starting at VIP tickets, $70.
70. Woo.
You have first access to specialty, limited quality brews while they last. General admission's $55, but that's a week-long festival, so you can do it. Check it out any of those days. It looks like
It's at Ram. If you've ever been to the Riverside Arts Market, it's right under the.
I'm sorry. The
bridge.
ticket sales is for a week at the gate. $55. If you do it early bird, it's $45 online.
So you just go get drunk?
Yep, pretty much.
Sweet.
From my understanding,
I could
I
walk
saw a
there.
lot of
Pre-game.
Snapchats and Instagram videos last year that looked like a lot of fun. So definitely want to check it out this year.
Let's go get drunk, boys.
I'm down. It's right down the road.
We do not condone over drinking.
Or underage.
No driving while drunk, and yes, of course, no underage drinking. So
Underage drinking is very bad. But I got
Mike's
fake
PSA,
ID.
Mike's PSA is on the Instagram. If you forget,
Okay, really?
What happened?
is.
The PSA. Oh my god, I
The
forgot
video.
about the PSA. I was thinking something completely different.
Did you get
I don't
drunk?
want to know what you're thinking, but I'm thinking of the video on our
On our
Dimes on
Instagram
Duval
page,
Instagram
yes, I remember.
page.
I actually was going through my Instagram stuff that I was tagged in today, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun." I was just looking through how things have changed over the last 6-7 years, and I see that video. I was dying laughing.
It's a classic. It's a classic. We need to get more on Instagram. If you know anyone that's looking to sponsor the podcast, reach out to us. We have our email on our website, or if you know us personally, just send us a text. We're looking for a primary sponsor for the show. So without further ado, this has been another episode of Dimes on Duval. For Mike Yaji, Skyler Chase, I'm Keith Manzi. Thank you for listening, and take care.
Love you, Trevor Lawrence.
Please fire Baalke.